even get to cross.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Sorry for taking so long to get back to one of these, but this is going to be another analytical video of some Fortnite gameplay. We're going to cut away a lot of the fluff. It's going to basically be a compilation of clips from our gameplay, and we're just going to try to analyze on the fly, you know, what went wrong, not really on the fly, but what went wrong, what went right, what we did wrong, what they did right, and just see, get as much from it as we can. Anyway, this fight was pretty scrambly. And then we're going to go back, we're going to slow it down, and we'll see exactly why it really was poorly executed on my part. Sure, I won, but it was actually really badly done. So, I have the high ground, and I lost track of my target. Now, an intelligent move from him, he took out the ramp that was the linchpin to my build. Unfortunately, he seemed to just completely lose track of where I was. So, we were able to sneak up on him and get a clean shot at it and just finish it off with the AR. Really, it was just overall sloppiness from him. He had the jump on us because we were falling down. My automatic reflex was to put up a wall and block out where I last thought he was, and that was pretty good, but overall, I still executed it pretty badly. Alright, so moving right along to the next one. Everything that went wrong here is avoidable, but we did what we could in the situation. We didn't know where he was, so we immediately responded to the shot with as fast a build as we could. I made a bit of a mistake with the build, I decided to run an inning. I took too much time to try to re-evolve my build, and I decided to just use the cover for what it was and see if I could get some peek shots in. Peek shots are, of course, a manner of combat where you do not stand out in the open and instead take pot shots while moving back and forth from behind the cover. This is a clear difference, or a clear example of how effective peek shots are over simply holding still. He held still, I chose to use peek shots, and, well, yeah. Okay, it's going to be a potato clip, mostly for fun. But I will say this, right weapon for the right situation. We see he's mostly holding still, sniper, take our shot, bada bing, bada boom, said and done. Nothing to it. Sound! Sound is so incredibly important. The only reason we know this guy is in the building right now is because we heard his footsteps earlier. So, we go quiet ourselves and see if we can hunt him down through the windows and make sure that we don't give him any chance to ambush us coming through doors. As you can see, he's just sitting there on the staircase trying to camp it. Trying to line up a headshot, but well trained. Because we knew where he was, and he reacted about as well as a wet fish that just got thrown into a deep fryer. So, there's that. We had a sniper shot taken at us, so keep that in mind. That might be much useful information later. So, remember how we had that sniper shot taken at us? We went outside. And, sure as well, there's somebody out here. We know there's somebody out here, but he's decided to hightail us to the hills. So we get some shots on him, and we shot him pretty good. But we don't want to run all the way across the field, because it could give him too long to shoot at us, and we don't want to pursue him right up his own ramp. So we decided to go ahead and build our own ramp up. I should be double ramping it just in case he was smart enough to come back down his ramp and see if he could take my ramp out on the way up. We start double ramping just to give ourselves some cover in case he has a high ground. Now, this is an example of laziness. Never get lazy. Because when I'm advancing on him, there's no reason for me not to be building. I built one staircase and then let him land some unnecessary shots. The damage was completely unnecessary for me to take. If I had simply built one more staircase up and put a wall in front of it, I could have easily used peek shots to take him out much cleaner. And that cost me some shield that I did need to sacrifice. I wouldn't have to drink these minis immediately, I'd have a little bit more shield, and I'd overall be in a better situation. Now, this, the reason we're just going to kind of roll right on into the next fight, is because it was very sudden. This was painful. You'll hurt to watch, I hurt to watch, I hurt to do it. This is going to be an example of building. Now, I've landed so many clean shots, but instead of fighting as I should have, and simply finishing him off, I tried to build to block walls when it wasn't really necessary and cost myself so much life completely unnecessarily. Don't panic, build only when you need to, not always. Tunnel vision is the death of you, is the death of me, is the death of anyone who ever finds themselves in it. So, We see this guy's over here, and we put some shots on him, and he's pretty decently hurt, and that's fantastic. But we also know that there's another target here somewhere. It's the top 3 situation, so there's another person to be worried about. But instead of being wary and even not noticing him right there on the side of the hill like I should have, I'm so focused on this person that I am that not only have I given up my high ground, but I put myself in the middle of a field, which immediately becomes a mistake because that person that was behind me that I should have seen clear as day put shots on me and it put me down to 1 HP. I'm in a very bad situation. This was completely avoidable. I could have just kept my high ground. There was no reason to try to aggressively press someone that is so far away. And I just overall got a really bad situation to land. We're able to use our jump pad to get ourselves out of there, but we're still at 1 HP with no heals, top 3 situation, and, well, you know, unfortunately, but it just was completely avoidable. Aggression must be tempered. Only advance when you know you need to. In a situation as tense as this, you know that everyone that's alive has their eyes peeled. So don't give them any free shots of you. And that's exactly what I did. Now, this guy is sitting here so long that I decided to try to build up and maybe see if I can get him angry. I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, he'll take a shot at me, take a shot at that guy, and give me a chance to just take him out with a quick headshot. I'm so worried about that guy, you know, taking shots at me over there just because he can. And so I take a moment to try to peek at him, but we see that he's building, so we focus in on this. At this point, I've realized that he's completely unaware of where I even am, and just decide to start pressuring him where they are. Instead of firing back or even taking a moment to retaliate, he simply keeps firing, or he simply keeps throwing up walls, and because I have a scar, I'm able to tear through enough of it and pressure him out. But I've forgotten about the storm, I tried to move, I'm at 1 HP, and just like that, a complete potato wins the game. Oh well. Don't say I never did anything for you. Because embarrassing myself like this for the sake of your education is quite the sacrifice on my end. Anyway, so this is just sad. I immediately drove my own high ground. It turns into a scramble. And we're basically sitting here in a doorway spraying ARs at each other because I don't have a shotgun and he doesn't have a shotgun, and it just turns into a derp-off. Don't lose your high ground, but most importantly, try to avoid getting into dumb hip-fire fights. It's just RNG, and it's just dumb luck. Yeah. Okay, sorry about this. The audio on this one's cut out. This is going to be a small example in the exercise of control. In this situation, I have complete control of what's going on because I'm the one with the bit of high ground and cover, and I'm able to take the peek shots where I want to and risk very little with every bit of movement. He chose not to build, which was a fatal mistake on his part, and, well, the proof's in the pudding. You see what happens. Make sure to build. Fighting under duress, or I should say in a bad situation where you have no idea what's going on and you're mostly panicking. But I'm going to use duress because it sounds better. Anyway, this guy gets the jump on us while we're trying to do it. And we do the right thing and try to build our high ground and get better control of the situation, but he's a psychotic monkey with a machine gun. So he blazes absolutely every bit of it down and ends up having to do a derp-off fight. But fortunately, this other little random potato comes to our aid and mostly kills it. But that's okay. Anyway, if you know that you're going to have to fight more than one opponent right after the other, do everything you can to stay in control of what little you can. If that's high ground, keep it. If it's angle, keep it. If you need to retreat, do it. Never be afraid to do whatever manner or tactic that it'll keep you in control of what you can. You're hurt, so try to keep cover. Or you have little ammo, so try to provide yourself with as simple a shot as possible. All in all, just keep control of what's going on. Now, I jumped down because someone took a sniper shot at us from our high ground, and I had no more materials. Now, thing here is there's a bit of a visual bug because I don't actually have full health or shield here. It's saying that I have full shield, but I actually don't. I barely survived that situation, but that's okay. I jumped down because I had no materials to build cover for the oncoming sniper's round. Here comes that sniper. Now, we know he's up there, and we're at a low ground, and we didn't have time to build up, so we can go ahead and finish building our shieldies. So now, comes back to peak fighting. Now, fortunately for us, this guy wasn't too bright, and the situation that we presented him with, I guess, was a little bit beyond him, because he ran up to his building, which was odd enough. Then he got dropped down by me taking out the ramp, but he kept the high ground, so kudos to him. Only problem is, though, he didn't build out and didn't get another entrance, so there you go. Now, when you're in situations like that you don't have a solution to, sometimes the only thing you can do is stay calm and look for the cleanest shot you can. Which is what we did, and we took our shot, and fortunately for us, it ripped his head off. Happy day. Okay, I'm not going to act like this is anything but me just saying, yay, I hit that, because that's all this is. It's not really something that's that fancy. I will say this, though. Keeping your eyes peeled for small things that give a notion to someone else's presence is always important. We saw his wood completing itself on the side of that building, so we know somebody was over there. We saw him drop down because our eyes were now fixated on the area. Saw him running down the field. Boom. Okay, so the first part of this clip is just going to be me dealing with a little bit of a monkey and a bit of a visual bug, if you will. You'll see what I mean by visual bug when it happens. Anyway, I'm going to set this up a little bit better. This guy here is pretty much just going to be our distraction for a moment. We're going to take a round to the back in the middle of firing at this guy. That is a really important thing. You'll see the oncoming sniper around there. Now we know somebody's behind us. We're also going to hear the explosions of them firing grenades. And I responded by wondering if I needed to bail on it, though I noticed that they weren't really that close. So we take him out. I should have kept the high ground, except I went low. I went low, not really in a rush because of the storm. And now, here I am with the low ground against the monkey with a gold star, and even an idiot can use a gold star to gun down somebody who's just running around in the open. And I just failed to act right. Patience, if you will, is an incredibly, incredibly important quality. Now, we had somebody that tried to come through the front door and saw our trap, so we backed off and built a ramp to try to get peek shots on us. Now, I know to you, it seems as if I have clear shots on his head. Truth be told, the replay is extremely buggy in this situation and simply not showing it right. In-game, I saw pretty much his hairline until he overcommitted to the peek and shooting the wood and gave me a more clear shot, and then we ripped off his head. We stayed completely still, didn't present any shots until he gave us one, and he gave them to us, surprisingly enough, so he loses the firefight. Really sick of those bugs, though. Making the best out of a bad situation. Okay. So, overall here, I'm going to fuck up. I'm going to fuck up really bad, and we're mostly just going to run with it. We get some clean shots on this guy, so we know from the very beginning he tried to pressure him out with a lot of AR fire, but he proved a little too resilient, tried my patience, I lost patience, and started to push him. Now, I went up here not really expecting to lose that build fight and made one of the biggest mistakes that I hate so much and jumped off to the right, giving up the high ground. But remember, he's weak. So let's just kind of run with it and see if we can land enough shots to get the kill on him. A bit of a risk, but a calculated one, if you will. Like I said, we knew he was weak, so we just needed a few air rounds to tag him and win. Fighting is not always required. Sometimes you can just solve the entire problem with one clean shot. We have no shields here. We're low on health. Everything that could fight us could possibly end us. But we have a sniper on. Now, I go on with this clip to show you something. We took our time, lined the shot up right, and ended that fight without ever even letting him fire a round at us. Take a gander at what he had for us if we did let this fight escalate. Yeah. That definitely could have killed me. 75 HP versus a rocket launcher. Not a good idea. You remember what I said about tunnel vision? Well, yeah, I'm still learning that lesson myself. You have to excuse me. So, here's another clip of me being completely retarded and focusing way too hard on one person. Now, where did that come from? You get caught up focusing on all of the seeable threats. Now, that's not the person who killed me. So I wonder who did. Let's run it back. And I'm going to show you exactly who ended my life. See that? Yeah. Yeah. A little closer. A little closer. Get a nice, clean shot of what we died to. Oh, look. It's a potato in a bush. Be aware of all threats here. Not just the ones you can see. Because if you're not, even an idiot like that can kill you. Oh well. You ever wonder what it would be like to be in one of those old westerns where you walk out your front door and 16 people are out there with guns? Yeah, this isn't like that. I just ran outside and saw somebody running across the yard, so naturally I just run straight at them like a gung-ho idiot, providing very little advantage for myself, but fortunately winning the fight. Now, let's try to do that in a different way with the next one. Block them off with the walls, get a little bit of high ground, exercise control. He didn't build, he didn't build anything, really threats. So we just keep our high ground and keep taking shots until he drops. Bada bing, bada boom. So, I don't know if you were paying attention, but when I was in the game, I was. I knew from the very beginning that I had been having someone take sniper shots at us throughout that entire engagement. I tried to build over to him, but quickly realized I didn't have materials. Always keep track of how many mats you got. So we know he's up there, and we know that he's sitting on the high ground. And this overall was really a very reckless push of mine. But I just kind of was in one of those moods, so I made it. Got a little bit of wood on my way up here, tried to build a ramp, didn't really get on it with the first jump, and overall, if the guy was sitting there with his high ground, I'd be dead. Someone put a sniper on him, took away all his shields, simplified the situation for us. 1, 2, we got him. That's great. Except someone's taking crossbow shots at us, that's weird. But someone's also running right up on us. We heard him take our ramp, so we circle around on our own ramp. He actually is just standing out in the open and was smart enough to build a wall, but didn't even try to use it. He didn't build up. He just kind of threw some things away and then hoped that was enough. It turned into a 50-50 shotgun fight. I got lucky enough to win, and cool. But in all honesty, this was a complete no-no for me, and you should always, always build. I'm going to show you how to find a rat. You remember those crossbow shots? We were hearing an awful lot of crossbow shots in the previous engagement. I pinpoint one of them to this house, but we don't know where in the house he is. So, in good measure, we get the high ground, and we use sound to try to pinpoint where he is. Knock out some roofs, search the area one by one. Keep it clean, keep it simple, give him no advantages. So we look around as much as we can, we clear out the roofs, but he's gone silent. He knows someone's in the area, and like a little rat, he holds completely still because he's frozen in fear. So we clear as many rooms through the windows without ever actually going in as we can. At this point, I'm starting to lose faith in the fact that I ever actually heard anything. But that just wasn't right. So there's one last place to check. The kitchen. Now I made a mistake. I walked up and tried to destroy these bushes, but fortunately he was a little too slow to the gun, didn't peek when he should have, and just kind of walked out hard aiming and gave us the freest headshot of our life. Now, that was great, but I did make a mistake when going towards the window in destroying the bushes. I simply should have been checking the kitchen to make sure there was nobody present and not give him an opportunity to kill me. If something seems weird, it's because it is. If something seems strange, perceive it as a threat. Strange is bad. Change is bad. So always approach the situation as cautiously as you can. I'm about to show you exactly what it means to do the opposite of that and pay for it dearly. So we're running through the field. Nice grassy field, and oh look, some random builds against the wall. Huh, wonder what that is. Oh, let's just run at it like a complete idiot. Let's not build anything or anything like that. Oh look, I'm being shot. Oh no, there's a black guy with a gun. Help. Please, police, somebody save me. Nope. I have officially fucked up and am now dead. Now, in all honesty, this is also an example of a fantastic monkey just kind of going nuts and getting lucky. But I still could have done it a lot better and simplified the situation by simply building a few ramps. He probably wouldn't have even done much about it. A few ramps to get myself some high ground, a wall to get myself a ledge to peek over, and I could have fought this 1,000 times better and most likely not dead. Instead, I came at the situation head on, took a magnum round in the face, and then got, well, random-nated. The plungers is probably the stupidest item that I think Epic has added to this game so far, but oh well. Pretty much after landing the Magnum shot and seeing me put up a wall, even though he knew he landed a few like AR rounds, instead of just trying to approach it with like, you know, some more AR fire or a shotgun, he just pulls out plungers and starts throwing them in there. He doesn't even know what's going on. He almost killed himself. And frankly, just gets kind of lucky with the explosions being a bit wider than I thought. And the third plunger not really following the timer of the other one. That is, unless that the other plungers cause its immediate detonation. But, yeah. Mistakes on my part. Oh, how the mighty fall. High ground is a very precious thing. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. But it's only useful if you actually use it right. Or if you can aim. Now, this is a dangerous push from me, but don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Mostly. Let's get a different angle on this, and I'll show you exactly why this push was executed properly by me for once. I know, me doing something right. Yay! So, we get ourselves a box to start our push upwards. We get our ramps, we get our walls, we get our ramps, we get our walls. Keep providing ourselves cover until we have enough of an angle to actually engage. We don't need to overextend and go too high, perhaps, so we just keep that high ground we got. He panics and falls down. Now, once again, like I said, high ground is all important, but from the angle I would have lost all sight of him, so I kind of pursued him out of a urge to just finish him off. A little bit dangerous for me, but calculated. High ground is highly important, but sometimes sacrificing it for the very specific right reasons can be okay. Not often, though. Being aware of very specific things is very good for you. Like, for instance, I'm about to have a sniper round shot at my head, but it's going to miss. There it is. Now, because we know his sniper rifle was being reloaded, we took the time to take a shot of our own. We also know that we had a shot followed by a few AR rounds, so while advancing on him, we simply keep our crosshairs set and ready for him to peek again, knowing that we don't need to land many shots to finish him off. A little bit dangerous, but that's mostly okay. It's about calculated risk. If you do have to take risks, which you will, it's impossible to play any video game and never have to take risks, you have to take them as accurately and as correctly as you can. So, since we knew, once again, since we knew his sniper rifle won't pull down, let's land our own shot. Stay poised to kill him for if he peeks, takes a few more rounds, he peeks again, takes a round to the head, bada bing bada boom, we're said and done with it. A little dangerous, but confidence in your aim and confidence in how much health he has, it's helpful. Knowing when to just bail. Retreat is a word commonly, frowned upon, representing cowards, spineless men, things like that. But knowing when a situation is just plain too crazy for anyone to rationally try to handle is pretty important. We go ahead and get into a build fight that we see a lot of people involved in. We're automatically at a disadvantage, and we see that the structure of this entire place is kind of faulty. But we're deep off in it now, so we keep trying to, get angle, get high ground. But after a while, and the explosions start going off, I simply notice that, hey, this sucks. And I leave. I try to get down because I hear grenades going off, somebody's throwing a quarter fort in the middle, and as you can see, that thing completely collapsed. But because we were the first ones to fail and went to the outer edges of the fight, we're able to swoop in from the side and clean up the fight, and we're the ones alive when they're not. Don't always be afraid to run from the fight if you can do it safely. Come back at it from a smarter angle. Alright. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everyone, because this is going to be our last clip. This is going to be an example of a failure to exercise patience. Despite, in the exact same clip, me showing the importance and how well it ended up serving. So we push up on this guy who has the high ground, and I see this tree is getting on fire. So I take the tree out, get a clean shot on him, and there you go. Well, the fight that follows this kind of shows how, with the exact same problem, I failed to exercise patience. I know this guy is here. I build the high ground, I push up, I get a good angle on him, and I even see him trying to counter build up. I'm at advantage. The situation's pretty simple. Keep my high ground, land my shots, and sooner or later I'll finish him off. But there's this pesky tree blocking my shot, so I jump down like a Neanderthal and turn it into a dirt ball. I do have a decent angle, but I'm not using it quite right. I fails to realize the danger of poking my head out that much. He fires some random AR rounds, gets a random headshot, and I die to a potato. Well, you win some, you lose some, but you'll lose a lot more if you're that stupid. Bye.